All right, everybody. It is a rather unseasonably warm day at the end of December. And so I figured I would use today to take care of a few little outside tasks. And I thought I'd bring you guys along. It's after Christmas and it's mid-50s. They said it was supposed to get to the low 60s today, but with this wind we're having, I think we're maybe going to get to the mid to upper 50s, which is still pretty comfortable to be outside in December, all things considered. So there were a couple things I wanted to knock out before the weather drops tomorrow. First thing I want to do is get the battery disconnected out of this tractor and get it on the charger. This tractor will eat batteries. There's an electrical draw somewhere that I really have no interest in locating, and this is a fairly new interstate battery and it's already almost hashed, which is a shame. I keep forgetting to disconnect the battery connections when I'm not using the tractor. So I'm gonna get that disconnected, get the battery charger out here, and I'll catch up with you then. Okay, got our battery charger out here. Got our extension cord run from the carport. Everything's connected. Remove the negative battery terminal. So let's see, get it flipped on. 12 volt, manual mode. We'll go with a medium charge. Yeah. We'll just let it charge up. I don't think we're gonna fire this thing up today, but we may well have need of it if we get any late season snows. Plow this driveway, and then most times if it snows real deep, I'll go ahead and plow the rest of the road from all the way up there down to the main road. So we will have need of something that we can plow snow in with heat and with a radio. So let's move on to the next thing we got to take care of. The next thing I wanted to do today, seeing as how the weather is fairly pleasant, was I wanted to fire up this tractor, just get some temp in the motor, let the oil circulate, top off the battery. You've seen this before in my equipment tour YouTube video, but we never really talked about it. I was supposed to make a video about this tractor, but time got away from me, the weather got cold, and I'm sorry, but I'm not coming out here when it's 30 to make a YouTube video. So this is my Farmall M. Y'all have seen it before. I figure today's as good a day as any to see if we can get this thing to fire up. It's got a newer battery in it. It stayed connected. I'm hoping it should be good. It is a 12 volt system, so we've got that going for us. But let's check real quick, make sure that it will in fact crank before we shut the gas on. So we're in neutral. Yes, I know, never start a tractor from the bottom like this, but whatever. Yes, it will crank. So let's get our fuel turned on. Let's tap the carb, because I guarantee you some gas is going to start coming out. Sticky float. No, looks like we're okay. We'll set our throttle. Choke. Yeah, we'll choke it. Let's see if this thing will go. A little bit less choke. Not bad. Probably should have checked the oil, but oh well. Got a little bit of a charge going. that battery's held its charge pretty well despite it being so cold for so long. So we'll let this thing warm up and just putter away. You'll probably hear it in the background moving forward from here, because I want to let this run for a little while. Oh, don't die, don't die. There you go. Very good. We'll let this thing run, get some temp in the motor, and then it should be good to wait out the rest of the winter, sitting right over here nestled amongst the impeding doom of the pine trees. Nothing's knocking, nothing's leaking. We're making 50 pounds of oil pressure. Yeah, we'll be okay. All right, on to the next thing. Next thing on the to-do list is we're gonna fire up this old Oliver as well. Right now this Oliver is hooked up to the enclosed trailer, which holds pellets for the pellet stove, which is why it's sitting up here. Now, before we can fire it up, well, I suppose we could, but the first thing I wanna do is I wanna get some air in this tire. This tire has started, I don't know, over the past 2 months to go flat, which is a darn shame. This thing could probably use new tires. Do I want to put new tires on it? I really don't know. For now, I've got cinder blocks and wood supporting the axle so it doesn't go all the way down to the rim and split the tire any worse than it already is. So I think the first thing we're going to need to do is get some air in this tire. And to do that, we're going to need help from our little pipe bomb friend. So let's go get him aired up and bring it out. Get some air in this tire. Okay, we've got our portable air tank here. Our compressor is fully up in pressure. Now, all we're gonna do is start filling it. The instructions say that this thing can technically hold like 120 psi of air. But see, we're not gonna do that because I like my body and I like it to be intact. And so we're maybe only gonna fill this thing up to about 80. Maybe we'll go up to 90 if I'm feeling extra frisky today. So let's get this aired back up and I'll meet you over at the tractor. Okay, we've got 80 pounds in our portable pipe bomb. Let's go ahead and get the cap off. And these things are pretty cool, these portable air tanks. What we do is we're gonna unwrap the hose and then see if I have enough gumption to do this with one hand. We're gonna push it over. That's letting air dispense. And we'll just, oh, come on, you. Do. There we go. And it's gonna be a long process. Yep, tire is much worse for wear. Slowly but surely though, it's coming up. So we'll get some air put into it. And then we'll fire the tractor up. Quick side quest. We're back down here at the Farmall, which has been running this whole time. We see there's a little bit of temp got into the motor. And we can see the hydraulics are warming up since we're starting to get a little bit of a hydraulic leak. So we should be fairly good here with this machine. So we'll come back over. And we'll shut the gas off. And we put this old machine back to sleep for another few months. So we'll let it run out of gas, and I'll shut the ignition off, and we'll be good. Already the motor's running out of fuel. All right, we'll get back to the Oliver here in just a little bit. Okay, we've got some air in the tire now. We should be ready to fire it up. I went ahead and turned on the gas. Did our obligatory carburetor tap. Hopefully it's not flooded. We have our glass filter of death that filled up. So hopefully we are ready to go. Now this tractor usually is pretty reliable, but I don't think it's taken too well to a little bit of neglect. So let's see. We are in fact not in neutral, so now we are. Set our throttle. Usually this thing doesn't need any choke, so we're gonna try real quick without choke. Hope our battery's topped up. Let's see what happens. Give it a little bit more throttle. No. Try just a little bit of choke. Just a little. It has been cold after all. Uh-oh. Now we might be getting in trouble. Did it flood out? It may have. Uh-oh. Starting to run low on battery. Let's see what we can figure out, and I'll get back with you. All right, well, here's our solution. I wonder if this old interstate's finally given up the ghost. It's been reliable so far. I've got it jumpered down to the camper battery out of my travel trailer. Let's see if the two of these fellas got enough gumption to get this thing to crank a little bit faster. Let's see. Yep. We're still, I'm kind of afraid we might be a little flooded. I'll give it some more chance though. Oh no, we're running out. No, we might not have enough out of that trailer battery. I wonder what happens if we go full choke. I'm afraid the motor might be flooded, but we just gotta try. No, we're not cranking fast enough, I don't think. Well, let me try one more battery before we say that it's not gonna start. Well, I wish I would have got that on camera. We ended up having to go with another camper battery and wiggling our leads a little bit. When we got a good enough crank, I went full choke. I guess it really wasn't flooded, but I went full choke and it fired right up. This whole thing had me worried. I would expect we'd be charging a little more than we are, but I'll get the leads disconnected and we'll just charge up that interstate. Maybe it's not gonna do any well in the cold anymore. I don't know. But we're gonna keep running it until we don't have any option.